Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things that we learned from Burnley 0, Chelsea 3. It's another 3 points for the Blues. It's another very convincing performance all over the pitch. This is probably the first time this season where it would have been nice to do 11 things that we learn and give every single player in the Chelsea team a green box. It was probably the most perfect performance that I've seen from our Chelsea so far this year. Maybe under Frank Lampard as well. We had some big wins and some great performances last season, but I've never been as confident as I was watching that game on Saturday night with what we did all over the field. The cohesion's coming together, momentum is starting to build. Chelsea are looking like serious title contenders, and I know that might spark up a little bit of debate amongst some of you, but I really do believe that. Now, I firstly want to apologise that this video is 2 days later than it should have been. It was my brother Biso's birthday this weekend. It was Halloween. We had a big weekend celebration for him, just like we did for my birthday. You know, I had to put GBFC on the back burner, but I'm back now, and I want to upload a brand new video every single day between today and the end of this month. So if you're not yet subscribed, I'd love to ask you to do so, and because I missed yesterday in November, I want to give away a copy of FIFA 21 to one of you lot, just to say sorry for making this video late. So leave a comment in the comment section down below, letting me know the 6 things that you learned from this game, and then at the bottom of that comment, just let me know what console you want FIFA 21 on, and I'll pick one of the best ones, and I will send it to you. So without any further ado, let's get into things, and box number 1 is a blue box for a man who I spent a lot of time talking about in my last video, the video I made with Jan, where we were discussing the 10 things we've learned so far this season, and I mentioned that N'Golo Kante playing in the hold on his own could be the difference maker this season between Chelsea being able to bridge this gap between defence, midfield and attack, being able to utilise as many of our attacking players in the starting 11 as we possibly can. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that Frank Lampard watched the GBFC video and was like, you know what, Benson's onto something here. Sticks N'Golo Kante in front of the defence on his own, and what do we see from N'Golo? We see a retro classic Kante performance where he pretty much doesn't put a foot wrong. Chelsea are able to transition the play from that midfield and the defence through to the attackers, playing fluid attacking football with 2 number 8s. N'Golo Kante made all of that happen, and I thought he was pretty much perfect throughout the entire match, and I've given in the blue box today. I think it's so important this season. If Kante can stay fit, injury-free, if he keeps starting matches, Chelsea are really onto something. And I think what I've seen in the transitional phase where we've gone from conceding and leaking a load of goals to now looking like we're never going to concede a goal again, which I know we're probably going to do that now in the Champions League, now that Benson's made his flipping comment. But Kante was instrumental to the way that Chelsea played in this one. It was a perfect performance. And we move into another man. This could have easily been another green box, but it's, well, I mean, it is a green. It could have been a blue. Hakim Ziyech, again, his first Premier League start, his second start in a week, his second goal. He was brilliant again. And the thing I loved about Ziyech's goal is there's been a lot of times in the last couple of seasons from Chelsea players where I'm almost begging for us to just have a go from outside the area. It's a beautiful layoff from Tammy Abraham. We might get into him in a moment. Ziyech puts his left foot through it. We know how accurate he is when he's crossing the ball, shooting with that left foot. He's a wizard. He's a magician. Beautiful finish, giving Chelsea the lead. And I think what we're seeing from Ziyech is a dynamism that makes Chelsea so much less predictable. So much less. That makes sense. So much less predictable because Ziyech is left-footed, cutting in on the right-hand side. When we signed him, we were talking about this. We were saying that that's going to be one of the biggest key reasons why Ziyech is going to offer so much more to this Chelsea attack than, say, maybe a Willian has done over the years, where Willian was quite a one-dimensional player. I don't want to sit here slating him just because he's gone off to Arsenal, but with Ziyech on that side, you know that there's something coming up his sleeve, you know, whether he's going to cut inside and take a shot, whether he's going to drift in when he's not actually in possession of the ball, get into a shooting position, or if he's whipping balls over the top. I think something we're going to see a lot of this season is Christian Pulisic ghosting in from the left-hand side if he's not injured, Ziyech putting the balls over, and then either Timo Werner or Christian Pulisic finishing it off. It's going to be FIFA-esque kind of football, little tap-ins inside the 6-yard box, and a lot of that is going to be down to the precision that Hakim Ziyech brings when he's on the ball. He was absolutely brilliant again. As I said, could have been a blue. We move into box number 3, and I've partnered these two together, both of the strikers, Tammy Abraham and Timo Werner. I could have talked about both of them, but I also could have talked about all of the players on the pitch. Mendy, Zouma, Silva. I mean, some of them might have green boxes. You're going to have to wait and see to the end of the video. Tammy Abraham, let's start off by talking about him. The first thing that I want to mention regarding Tammy is his attitude. I think it would be very easy for a young player who has waited for his opportunity at Chelsea. He's had loan moves, and then last season he's given the number 9 shirt. He becomes Chelsea's striker, the top scorer, and then Chelsea go and splash a load of money on one of Europe's elite strikers, Timo Werner. Would have been very easy for Tammy Abraham to throw his toys out of the pram, to kick up a little bit of a fuss, saying, why am I not starting? I deserve to be starting. And then he kicks up a load of raucous in the dressing room. Chelsea have problems. Lampard can't focus on building tactics, which we know is something he's needed to do. He's dealing with commotion. And Tammy's just not done that. Every time he's been out on the field, he's given 110%. He's looking now like he's aware that he's going to have to offer a lot more than even what he did last season. He's got to develop as a footballer, and what we're seeing from Tammy in the minutes that he's played, particularly focusing on this game against Burnley, the assist for Hakim Ziyech was brilliant. It was instinctive, he was in the right place, he's a striker in the box, he could have tried to control the ball himself and get a shot away because he knows he's got to score goals and contribute to the team in order to keep his place. He didn't do that, he was unselfish. It's a lovely little layoff for Ziyech. Ziyech rifles it into the back of the net. And of course, Timo Werner scores a brilliant goal, wraps it up for Chelsea. 3-0, lot more attractive than 2-0. And it was a beautiful finish from Werner, tucking it into the bottom right-hand corner of the net. He's looking very sharp as well. And I think seeing Tammy Abraham get the nod in the number 9 position for this one, gets his goal, and we see how many different players can offer something going forward within this Chelsea team. Now, box number 4, I've given it to Kurt Zouma. He scored a bullet header for the second goal. It comes off his head, and it looks like Roberto Carlos has just hit a left-footed volley from outside the box. It was a bullet from Kurt Zouma. At 1-0, with the way that Chelsea have been recently, even though I feel more confident, we always do need that second goal, just in case these little lapses of concentration or moments of poor defending happen. It's not happening. Zouma was absolutely massive at the back again for Chelsea. Gets forward, scores a goal. He's scoring goals this season, and if we can, if playing alongside Silva, who again, I could have given Thiago Silva a green, he's world class. He's just absolutely brilliant. But because Zouma got the goal, I've put him in that green box. But I do want to spend time talking about that partnership because it's looking good, with Mendy behind him, making saves again. They're confident to pass the ball back to him. Mendy's distribution, even though he's been kind of known for his shot stopping so far since joining, his distribution's great as well. I've given him a green box in virtually every match he's played so far for the Blues. I didn't give him one today because, I could have argued a case for virtually everybody. Like I keep saying, it was so flipping good. I feel great making this video, even though it's on a flipping Monday. Chelsea were excellent. Zouma was excellent. Silva was excellent. Box number 5. I've given it to Mason Mount. Again, could have been Kai Havertz. I thought Havertz was brilliant. But Mason Mount, we've seen now, playing in that number 8 position, when he's not out on that wing, he looks absolutely brilliant, doesn't he? Trying to make incisive passes, creating key chances, and little bits of skill here and there as well. He's playing with a confidence, Mason Mount, when he plays in that number 8 position. And the brilliant thing about this is that he knows that with 72 million man Kai Havertz in this team, he knows it's very competitive to get a start in this Chelsea team. And Mason will know that Christian Pulisic would have probably been starting this game. Maybe Ziyech might have been deployed in the middle. I don't know. But Mason Mount was fantastic. I thought it was the kind of game where even his critics, and Mason Mount has a lot of critics, and I think a lot of people like to hate on him for the sake of hating on him because maybe he's an easy target. Maybe sometimes he gets lost in games. Mason wasn't lost in this one whatsoever. I thought he was absolutely excellent. He orchestrated so many opportunities within that midfield, and both him and Havertz, I think we now can see the 4-3-3 for Chelsea is definitely something we're going to have to keep working with moving forward. I thought we were absolutely brilliant. Mason gets box number 5. We move into the final box of this video, and it's not a player. I want to talk a little bit about momentum. And right now, even if you look back at the 0-0 draw against Sevilla and the 0-0 draw against Manchester United. There was no doubt, despite Chelsea not being that potent going forward within those games, the Chelsea team and everybody that we're coming up against knows that Chelsea will be very dangerous on the attack. We saw those two matches that were kind of the stepping stones, you know? You're on this little wobbly step here where you're conceding loads of goals, you're throwing away leads, and you want to get to this place over here where you're keeping clean sheets and you're scoring goals because you can do that because you've got the players in order to do so. Chelsea were looking for that stepping stone. Those draws against Sevilla and United were perfect because we played against very strong attacking sides, defended perfectly, and then, because we're starting to see this balance being struck, we take the next step, which is scoring goals for fun and winning games still while keeping clean sheets, focusing on what we worked on. Building upon that, Chelsea are building some serious momentum. I think the last few weeks, we've looked so flipping solid. We're not conceding goals at all. We're not even conceding one. Clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet. Chelsea are on fire. And I think with the rest of the Premier League being so unpredictable, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if Chelsea can keep going like this, we've got some pretty good fixtures coming up, you know. We've got Rennes at Stamford Bridge, or it might be away from home, I think, this week in the Champions League. That's a very winnable game. Next weekend in the Premier League as well. If we keep going like this, we're just outside the top four now. Spurs are looking good. Arsenal were decent at United. Liverpool got a win, but they're kind of scraping through matches. Leicester, yeah, you know, Chelsea can do it. Everton were beaten again as well by Newcastle United of all flipping teams. So there's absolutely no reason why Chelsea, if we can keep going like this and stay injury free, we are in contention to win this league. I firmly believe that, and I'll be building the hype throughout the whole season. I believed it from the start. I believe it now, and I think people are starting to listen as this Chelsea team keep on rolling. But anyway, going to wrap up this 6 Things We Learnt video now. It's one of the most enjoyable to make of the season so far. A near perfect Chelsea display, 3 goals away from home against the tricky team to break down. Burnley, can we go to Turf Moor every week? We got 4 last season, 3 this season. Clean sheet again. Edouard Mendy, I flipping love you. And I love Chelsea Football Club. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit the like button. As I said at the beginning, subscribe if you're new. And I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Chelsea news video. See you all there. Catch you later.